What if you could just talk into your phone and magically hundreds of leads just showed up as a text message ready for you to call or text them? If you're still spending hours copying leads from Google Maps, I'm going to show you how to do it in minutes. And all you have to do is talk into your phone. I've used the same exact method to scrape unlimited leads across multiple industries and locations all across the United States. No matter what type of lead you're looking for, this solution can work for you as well. So here's what happened. I used to spend hours scouring Google Maps looking for leads, and the process was slow, boring, and monotonous. But then I figured out a way to automate it. In fact, I made it so easy, all you have to do is talk into your phone. Let me show you how it works. Okay, before we dive in, I want to give you a brief overview of how everything is connected and works together. So we'll start off with Telegram, which is a free app that you can download on your phone, and you can also access it from their website. Telegram will allow us to send a text message or an audio message. Now that will be sent to NAN, which is our automation platform. That will make a connection to Apify, which is the tool that we'll use to do our Google Maps scraping. We'll dump all that data into Google Sheets. And then finally, we'll send a message back to us through Telegram. And that will contain all the leads that we just scraped. Okay, let's see the automation in action. And then later, I'll show you how to set it up for yourself step by step. Okay, here on my screen is my automation workflow. I'm using a platform called N8N. And so all I'm going to do now is just click on Execute Workflow. And now this automation is waiting for a trigger. It's waiting for a message, which I'm going to send it right now through my Telegram app on my phone. So here we go. Find 10 plumbers in Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay, so now you can see that the automation is running. You can see that the agent is spinning, and this tool called Get Leads from Google Maps is also spinning. So we'll hop over to my spreadsheet, and within a few minutes, we should see some leads. Now, obviously, we can scrape more than 10, but for demo purposes, I'm just doing 10 for now, just to show you that it works. Okay, there we go. Just a few minutes, and now we have our leads. You'll see that we have the company name, we have some of the emails, we have phone numbers, addresses, city, and website. Obviously, we could scrape more than that, but for demo purposes, I'm just keeping it simple. So a couple of things just happened. One, we added lead data to our spreadsheet, but also I received the lead data on my phone on Telegram. So I have it here on my phone, but I can also show it to you on my computer here on the web, on their web interface. So right here, you'll see here are 10 plumbers in Charlotte, North Carolina, and here is the audio file I just sent it. So right now, you'll see ACC Plumbing and Backflow, which is also here, ACC Plumbing and Backflow, and we have their phone number and email. So right here from my phone, I could potentially just go ahead and call them or email them right from my phone and make that connection and reach out to them. So that's pretty cool, right? So in addition to an audio file, I can also text through the Telegram app. I'm going to show you how to do that now. So I'll go back to my spreadsheet here and just clear out these leads. And we will hit Execute Workflow one more time. And this time I'm going to say, find me 10 roofers in, let's say Texas. Let's just say Texas. There we go. There we go. And now you can see on the screen, it's working. It's calling our Get Leads from Google Maps workflow here. And we'll talk about that in a second. But within a few minutes, I should have some leads show up in my spreadsheet. Okay, there we go. There's our 10 leads. We have the company name, some emails, phone number, address. You'll see they're all in Texas. We have the website. And again, I just got a notification on my phone that the leads popped up. And to show you that, I can go to the web interface again and scroll down. And there we go. We have 10 roofers in Texas. Pretty cool, right? Okay, let me show you how to set this up for yourself. Okay, I've talked about this website before on my channel, but this website is called Apify. And they have over 6,000 pre-built actors that are available to scrape data off the internet. And so this is how we're actually scraping all the data from Google Maps. So let me show you how it works. They have all these actors, and I'll show you the one that I'm using now to scrape the data that I just showed you. It's called Google Maps Email Extractor, and it is $9 per 1,000 results. So that is a slight fee you had to pay for 1,000 results. But the account for Apify is free. So if you click on runs, you'll see all my previous runs. So if we click on the first one, you can see here are the results from the latest scraping. It has the name, address, city, email, website, phone number, etc. If we click on input, so this is the input we sent to the actor to tell it what type of information we want to scrape. So we told it roofers in Texas, and we wanted 10 results. And this is in what's called JSON format. And this is important because we're going to see this again in NAN in our platform. Okay, in order to get this automation to work, you're going to have to set up Telegram. And I'm going to provide this document that goes along with the video, which has step-by-step instructions on how to do it. But let me just briefly give you an overview of what you're going to do. So I did it through the web interface just because it's easier for me. But basically, once you create an account and you log in, you're going to go to this guy called BotFather. I know that sounds funny, but you go find BotFather. Make sure you find the guy with the blue check mark to make sure you got the right guy. So I'm not going to go through the steps here live, but I'm going to show what I did earlier just to show you how it works. So the first thing you're going to do is type in /new bot. It says, all right, a new bot. What are we going to call it? So for demo purposes, I just called it Muffins. It says, good. Now let's choose a username for your bot. It must end in the word bot, like this, Tetris bot or Tetris_bot. So what I do is just call it Muffins_bot. Well, unfortunately, that was taken. So then I called it Muffins123456_bot. Then it says, done. Congratulations on your new bot. Perfect. So that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, to interface with the new bot, what you can do is click on this link, and that will open up a new window, and this is your new bot. Remember, we called it Muffins. Okay. And then the other part you need to pay attention to is this access token. It says use this token to access the HTTP API. So what do you do with this access token? Well, you're going to copy and paste it over here in NAN. So right here in this Telegram trigger, double click. In the connection window, hit the drop down arrow and click on create new credential, and then copy paste that access token right here in this input field, and then click save. And that's going to save the connection. I'll just close it for now. I've already done it. But that's going to create the connection between Telegram and NAN. Okay, so it's pretty simple. Just follow the instructions and you should be fine. Again, I'll make all this available to you along with the video. You'll find a link to it in the description below. Okay, so here we are in N8N. And this is an automation platform that allows us to connect these nodes together, essentially passing data between the nodes to accomplish some task. And for this particular situation, I have two workflows, and we're going to go through these step by step. So the very first node you see here is the Telegram trigger. Let's see if I can make this bigger. This is a Telegram trigger, and this is just waiting for some execution. It's just when you turn this on, this is the thing that kind of kicks off the automation. It's just going to wait for your text message or your audio message. And so the next thing we're going to see on the screen is an if statement, an if node. And basically what this is doing is it's going to be looking for what type of a message did we send from Telegram. Did we send it a text message, or did we send it an audio file? So if we send it a text message, then it goes down this path. And in this node, we're setting two variables, one called text, which all it does is contain the text message that I just sent from Telegram. I'm also setting a session ID variable, which is needed by the memory module that we'll look at here in a second. So after this node, we follow the path, and eventually we're going to wind up to our AI agent. And the cool thing about NAN is it has the pre-built templates for AI agents, which is what makes NAN so powerful. So there's 4 primary parts to an AI agent, and we're going to walk through those step by step. The first one is the LLM, or the model, or in other words, the AI. This is the AI and AI agent. And so you'll see the one I picked here was OpenAI. And you could choose other LLMs like Claude or Grok or Perplexity, but I chose to use OpenAI. It's the one I'm most familiar with. The second thing we need to attach to the AI agent is memory. Memory is important. This allows it to remember the past iterations in case you want to continue working with the agent and you want to remember the last thing you did. So you have to include memory. And all this is built in to NAN. I'm not coding this by hand. These are simple modules I'm just dragging and dropping onto the AI agent. And number 3 is a tool. Now, there's a variety of tools we could append to this AI agent. In fact, if I click on this plus sign, you'll see I can choose things like a Gmail tool. I could choose a calendar tool, Google Calendar tool. I can choose a Google Contacts tool. The list is endless, right? You can use all sorts of tools to accomplish your tasks. But for our purposes, for this demo, I actually created another workflow and defined that as a tool, and that is this workflow here. It's called Google Maps Scraper. So in essence, this AI agent is calling this other workflow as a tool. And so it's going to pass certain information to that workflow. So I double click on this tool, you'll see what those variables are. We're passing search query, location, and number of results. If you look at the left-hand side, this is the last one I sent, roofers in Texas, and I wanted 10 results. So that's being passed to this tool. So I hop over to that workflow. This is what it looks like. We have a trigger. This trigger is receiving those 3 variables. And here is the trigger. If I double click on it, you can see it's expecting a search query, a location, and number of results. And I've defined an example here in this window. And again, notice it's in JSON format. And that information is being passed over to this HTTP request node, which is making a request to Apify. So remember, we have our actor here. So when we run this, this is actually making a request. Remember, see it here is making a request out to Apify. And within that body here is our JSON that we're passing. Remember I said here earlier when you have a run, you could click on your previous runs, and then click on input, and this is your JSON that you're passing. That's essentially what we're doing here. But we're just passing in those variables. So search query, location, and number of results. And the cool thing about NAN is it kind of interprets or renders the variables in real time. So even though these are variables, over here on the right, you can see plumbers, Florida, and 20. So this next node is a variable I'm setting called email string. And that's because sometimes these results will include multiple emails like this one. So this one has info@newrough.com and careers@newrough.com. So I just create a simple variable that takes all those emails and puts them into a comma separated list. And you can see that here in my spreadsheet. Right here, there's a whole bunch of emails here just put into a comma separated list. Finally, I am formatting the phone number because sometimes the phone number comes in with a +1. Let's see if I can find an example here. Okay, so here we go. For example, this time when I ran this actor this time, you see the phone number comes back with +1. And so in Google Sheets, if it sees +1, it may think it's a function, and it'll actually throw an error on your Google Sheets and won't display properly. So to fix that, I'm basically saying anytime you see plus 1 in a phone number, just strip it out. And then finally, our last node here is going to add all that data that we just got back from the scraper and add it to Google Sheets. And that's what we're doing here. Okay? So that is the Google Maps scraper workflow. So if we go back to our main workflow, okay, the last part that we want to talk about in regards to the AI agent is the prompt. So we double click on the agent. You'll see the prompt defined below that we're sending to the agent is the text message or the transcription from the audio file. So that is what we're sending to the agent as the input, the text message or the audio file. And then what are we doing with that information? Well, we have to define a system prompt. So the system prompt is here, but let me copy paste it and show it into a document and make it bigger so you can actually see it. It's not very in depth. Okay, here we go. It says you are an AI automation assistant with one available tool. So it's always important when you're writing prompts to define the role of the AI. And here we're just saying you're an automation assistant. We're also telling it that it has one available tool. Now, when I define my tools, I always try to use the same name as the tool. So if we go back to our canvas, it's called Get Leads from Google Maps, which you can see right here on the screen. And when I define it in my prompt, I'm saying Get Leads from Google Maps. Okay? Trying to help the AI know exactly what to do, what tools are available to it. And then I want to define what does that tool do? Well, it scrapes Google Maps for relevant lead information. And then I'm defining the inputs. This tool requires 3 inputs: search query, location, and number results. And then each one of these, I give a short definition. So that is how you use the AI agent to help it understand its role, what tools it has access to, and then it tries to, like, its job is to figure out, well, which tool should I use to accomplish the task that I'm given. And that is the reasoning why you would use an AI agent, because there are times when you have to let the agent decide which tool to use. Now, this example is pretty simple, but there are larger examples, more complex examples, where an AI agent has multiple tools available, and it has to figure out which is the right tool to use in the right situation. So those are the 4 pieces of building an AI agent in NAN. The last thing that it's going to do is send us back a text message with the contents from the scraping. So if I go back to my web interface on Telegram right here, you'll see it says here are 10 roofers in Texas. So this is being accomplished by this last message here. Now, in the event that we send an audio message, which is what I demonstrated earlier, when the message comes in from the trigger, it will go down this path here in the top. So the first thing we're going to do is get the file, and then we're going to transcribe the file. We're going to set another session ID, just like we did here, for the memory module. And then that text gets passed to the AI agent, and from there it gets processed just like a normal text message. Okay, so that's exactly how it works. Those are the 2 workflows you need to make it all work together. Okay, so to make this work, you're going to need NAN, which is $20 a month. You need Telegram, which is free. You need Google Sheets, which is free. And then Apify. The Apify account is free, but the actor we're using has fees. In fact, if I go to the actor, you'll see it charges $9 per 1,000 results. So those are the things you're going to need to follow along and to make this workflow, make it all work together. So if you want access to this workflow, these 2 workflows here in NAN, I'll make them available in my school community, which you can access using the link in the description below. So if you found this video helpful, I would really appreciate it if you like and subscribe to the channel. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.